Cruz, and I am one of the founders and the vice president of Community Speaks Out. Today I have Linda Labby, who is one of the founders of Community Speaks Out, and she is our treasurer. And I have Liz DeWar, who is doing the videotaping today. She is a board member. Nobody will be on the video, just we're going to be videoing somebody pretty important today. I just want to let everybody know the reason I started Community Speaks Out is because my son got addicted to Percocet. And as a mom, when you find out that your son is addicted to a Percocet, it's a very life-shattering moment. You feel like, oh my God, what's going to happen to my kid? So he bravely went up to his high school and he spoke about the first time that he actually tried a pill. And he said it took him over so fast. That was March 15th, 2015. So that's exactly the night that it started. We went home, we had a lot of feedback, and we said, we realized that at that point, we had counted at least 40 individuals in our town in Groton, Connecticut, that were already addicted to these pills. So we said, we cannot sit silent, we need to speak out. And I know it's hard as a young person to hear me say, don't do drugs. They've said it before. But we're kind of at a crossroads right now. At one point, these pills got people addicted, and then obviously it went to heroin. Now we're talking about fentanyl. And we're meeting more and more families now that had a child that even just smoked weed, and it was cross-contaminated with fentanyl. Because let me explain something. If somebody is actually selling weed, and they're selling fentanyl, and they're packaging it, this is really important to listen to. I ask for everybody's attention. If they're packaging weed and they're packaging fentanyl, there can be a cross-contamination. It doesn't mean it's always put into the weed. It can happen. I know a 19-year-old that died because he thought he was smoking weed. I know a young 20-year-old that died of an overdose from fentanyl when he thought he was doing cocaine. So the message I want to send to you is that you do not have to become addicted to opioids. Your first time can be your last time. So it's a very important right now at your young age. Your brain obviously isn't mature and your decision making is a lot different. This is why you have families and peers that can talk to you about making good choices and good decisions. My son went to treatment. He got off of Percocet. He was a year and 4 months clean on December 11, 2016. He was clean from the drug that it was taking everything away from him. His friends, his family, his job, his girlfriend, everything was gone. And he finally went to treatment, got into his recovery, and he still was a work in progress. But he was 24 years old. And he said, what do I do, Mom, at 24 years old? I mean, all my friends are starting to come back in my life, and they all hang out at the bar, so what do you expect from me? So I decided to meet him where he was, and I said, okay, as long as you're going to a therapist and you're getting a job and you're progressing, I'm okay with that. You can do what you need to do. I don't know that I take that back, because I feel like our relationship started to heal. But that evening on December 11th, as I said goodbye to my son, and we were going off to a benefit to keep Milford warm, my son went off to the bars with his friends, and he was so happy to be reconnecting with everyone he had talked to. I texted my son at 12:50 and said, hey, excuse me, I said, hey, and I had my phone off. And he texted me back a moment later, hey, LOL. Well, that would be the last text I would receive from my son. Because at 1:30 in the morning, the bartender at the bar that he was in, which was right around the corner from my house, asked my son to go outside and check on a girl that they were worried about. They could tell there was an argument going on between her and the boyfriend. So my son hadn't seen it and said, sure, I'll go check on her. He went outside to find this guy was beating her up. He was assaulting her. So he ran and he intervened and he stopped the fight. A lot went wrong that night. My son was shot 3 times because he saved another girl. He was shot once in the stomach that hit his bladder and his small intestines. He was shot in the shoulder. I hope we're not laughing because of what I'm talking about, guys. You're looking at a mom who is up here that only has memories of her kid. So there's nothing funny about it. So please be respectful. My son was shot 3 times. The lethal shot was from the back of his arm that went in his armpit, into his lung, and into his heart. This is right around the corner from my house. I got to the scene before they even took him in the ambulance. What I'm left with, guys, is memories of an amazing 24-year-old man who actually started living his life again. What I'm left with was the memories of how hard it was, the journey of his addiction, and how it stole so much from him. What I'm left with was how brave he was, not just to speak out to students, hoping to save one person's life from going down the path he did, but I'm left with a hero in my eyes. Unfortunately, the girl he saved, she's not here anymore. Just last year on my birthday, she died of an overdose. So that was a hard thing for me to soak in. I didn't want to say he died for nothing because he was doing the right thing, but he was at a bar, and he was at a bar late at night. And these are choices that he made that night to be and put himself in situations that might be risky. And this is the message I want to send to you. Risky decisions, risky choices can have consequences. If my son was working the recovery like he should have, he probably wouldn't have been there. That does not excuse the person that pulled the trigger on that gun that night. My reality is I can't watch TV that has gun violence on it. Last night I was trying to watch a TV show and it showed a body that had just had went to the medical examiner's office, and I had to shut my eyes and have my son, my husband change the channel because I know my son had to have an autopsy. These are the things that I'm left with. This was my son. I saw some crushed shirts in here. He played baseball. He was an awesome, awesome baseball player. He had goals. He had dreams of going to the big leagues. He was a great baseball player. He was friends with Matt Harvey. He was friends with Jesse Hahn. Those guys all play in the major leagues. Joey would have been a kid that you would have met if he was up here talking to you right now. It would have been seconds that you guys would have been like, the kid is awesome. I want to hang out with him. He was nice to everybody. But I don't have him anymore. The message I want to send to you today is that I don't want anybody in this room's family members who love you or people that are taking care of you to have to live through the horror of losing their child or their loved one. I had to sit through a trial. So my last memory of that trial was listening to the 911 call. And my son was moaning and trying to breathe. And I could hear at the moment saying, Joey, don't stop giving up. Keep breathing, Joey, keep breathing. Those are the things that I have to live with every single night. So I just ask you, Community Speaks Out is here. If anyone is struggling, or you know a friend that's struggling, do not be afraid. Because this is a life and death situation. I just want to ask really quick in here, does anybody know anyone in this audience that has overdosed? Can you raise your hand? Anyone that has overdosed and died? This is less than I usually have, but I want you to know that this is a war on your future. Your generation is dying in astronomical numbers. You didn't go through school to get educated and to be the present. My husband said it well. You're not our future, you're our present. And every decision you make can be a lethal one. I also want to make just a really quick comment that we are adapting every day Community Speaks Out to try to make sure that we send messages to children. Our problem, one of our problems now that we're seeing is that, obviously we legalized marijuana. And I feel like it really did send the wrong message. I understand what they were trying to do about the injustices, But now we've sent this message that it's okay. Well, for a brain of a young person, it's not okay. And we also, the vaping thing. You have to realize that the people who are selling vape pens, they're making it look awful cool. But they're preying on your health. I have people that are in their 20s now already dealing with COPD. I have asthma. I can't even imagine when I just got over bronchitis, and the fact that I struggled to breathe for like 6 days, I cannot imagine if I got COPD. I'm asking you, if you take the time to work out, and you take the time to play sports, and you take the time to do your homework, why would you ever want to put something into your body that's going to harm you? It's going to harm you. So that's the message I want to leave today. Just try to think twice before making a decision that might be the end of your life. I felt it so important today for you to hear that recovery is possible, because if anyone here is struggling and they have a family member in their own home that is struggling, it could be a sibling, it could be a parent, recovery is possible. But the journey leading up to recovery is a very, very hard one. So today I wanted to bring you someone who's pretty amazing. He has impacted so many lives and so many lives of the youth. His name is Fabretti, and he's part of Stop the Lie. And I want to introduce him right now to speak with you guys. Come on in, Marco.
Where's my freshmen? How many freshmen in here? All right, got a few freshmen. Just came to high school. That's nerve-wracking in itself. I mean, that's scary. That's fear. I remember going to high school. That was scary. See, I was homeschooled all my life, and the first time I ever went to actual school was my freshman year. So I'm talking about, like, I've been homeschooled. I haven't been in the public system. In my first year of school, like real school, was freshman year at New Britain High School. 3,000 kids. That was scary. So I'm going to talk about fear today, because I believe that fear is one thing that wants to hold us back to following our dreams. See, I was always afraid of certain things. But when I started to push back fear, I began to advance in life and follow my dreams. We're talking about fear, overcoming your fear. Where's all my sophomores? There we go. So you had a year to go. You had a year to deal with maybe that fear. You're getting a little bit more comfortable, right? Let's talk about comfort. Comfort could be a dangerous thing too, because if I get too comfortable, that fear that I used to have, that was keeping me focused and sharp, now I'm a little comfortable. So now I might be going the other way in life. Maybe I might be slacking on certain things like academics. So fear, right? And then you have comfort. That could also hinder you. So don't get too comfortable, right? Stay sharp, stay focused. Overcome that fear, but stay focused and stay sharp. Don't get too comfortable. Where's all my juniors in here? Now I'm super excited. That's what I'm talking about. We got juniors in here. So you're like in the middle, right? So I can stay in the middle in my life in certain things, or I can keep going. See, I think this is the middle right here of the gym. Say that's my past and this is my future. I could get caught up in the middle and never really advance forward, never really go back either. But that's also a dangerous place, but it's also a place of expectancy, because I can expect from here to move forward, because I made the choice to no longer go back, but now as my junior, I could advance forward. You hear what I'm saying? Who's my seniors in here? Amen. Here we go. So we have seniors in here getting ready to graduate this year. We turn the corner on the new year. This is your graduation year, guys. It's exciting. It's exciting, but you know what wants to come? Is that fear wants to come back in, right? It's that complacency, right, of your soul wants to come back in, right? And also staying in the middle wants to keep you right there. So in your senior year, you're not excited. This is the time of excitement, and don't let any fear hold you down. Don't let any complacency keep you there, and don't stay in the middle. It's the time to go forward. So if you're a senior in the building, be excited, be happy. Yes, there might be things that you're unsure of in the future, but that should be exciting for you young people. You see what I hold in front of me right now? If I showed you something right now, what is this? But more than just a piece of paper, what is it? Describe it. What's that? It's a blank piece of paper. So I feel like as a 38-year-old man, my life is this now. It's got a lot of writing on it. It's got a lot of, it's got a lot. Man, listen, I'm talking about, if I told you my journey from high school until now, they told my story. There's a lot to be told right now of 20 years of life since I graduated high school. So what you hold in front of you was what? A blank piece of paper. That's like a clean slate. Man, I remember when I used to get in trouble and I used to just pray like, I just wish I had a clean slate. I wish I could just start over like a blank piece of paper. Man, and I feel like that's what you guys hold. And that's so powerful because you stand here and you sit here in school as just a clean slate, ready to take on the world. And that's scary, but that fear shouldn't hold you there because it's exciting, because you have so much ahead of you, so much that you guys are going to embark on. And I believe in you because I was you and I am you today. That's why I stand in front of you. Not as somebody who's made it, but somebody who's still working, somebody who's still growing. It never stops. So I'm excited when I see young lives. I'm excited when I see young people. I'm excited when I see my man with the baseball hat. Baseball was my favorite sport, you know, because you guys are a clean slate today. You have so much to look forward to. So just remember what I said about the freshman year, the fear, the sophomore year, complacency, the junior year, staying in the middle, and the senior year, be excited, be excited. Like she said, my name is Marco Anthony Fabretti. I'm from New Britain, Connecticut. Anybody know about New Britain, Connecticut, and where that is on the map, geography, yeah? What do you know? It's down, yeah, it's down there. Actually, see, this is the funny thing. I want to have a geography lesson real quick. Because I moved from New Britain to New London, Connecticut, which is really down there. If we think about geography, it's south. Every time I come up here to speak, they say down there. I don't understand. Or they say up there. So anyway, geography, New Britain is in the center. We actually travel south to come here. So we'll go back up north. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just find it funny that every time I travel up there, they say I'm from up here. Anyway, so my name is Marco Anthony Fabretti. I remember being 18 years old, so just out of high school, and I had to have surgery, you know, as a kid. I'm still living with my parents. I'm just a kid. Had to have surgery on my jaw. I had reconstructive jaw surgery. It was a crazy procedure. And that's the first time I got introduced to opiates. I don't know if you know what opiates, we'll just define them as Percocets. And as an 18-year-old kid living with my mom and dad, and I was taking this medication that the doctor gave me, I didn't see there to be a problem with it. I didn't know much about it like I know now. But I remember it gave me some kind of euphoria. And if you want to be funny, or you want to tell a joke here, which I don't because it's serious, but I remember calling up people and talking on the phone because it felt good to talk to people. I don't know what it was, it just gave me a euphoria. So I was like calling people up. You ever see people on pain medication? They're a little loopy, right? It's not funny because I didn't know that as the time was going forward and as I continued to take this medication for my surgery that I was becoming an addict quietly. I wasn't becoming an addict in the sense that I was going out looking for drugs, that I was living on the streets, and that I was homeless yet. But I remember the feeling it gave me. And so, we'll talk about healthy choices, so pause there. Healthy choices is what I want to talk about today because I believe that healthy choices is the preventative measure of not making those choices in the future. To get high, to stimulate your mind, to do things outside of yourself that you usually wouldn't do. See, substance abuse is taking anything that's too much or not good for you until the point it becomes uncontrollable to stop or it takes over your everyday decisions, and that's where you come into an addict. You ever hear somebody say, I want to stop, I don't want to do this anymore, but they continue to do the same thing? That's an addict. Of anything. You know, too much overeating, too much, exercise. You could be addicted to so many things in this world. That's why it's so important to have a healthy balance of what we're doing. To have a healthy measures, to have a healthy mindset. to take into your body the right things and to have that practice so that when it comes time for somebody to offer you something or for you to see something, or maybe you went the route that I went and became introduced to something, you can say, no, that's not good for me. I don't want that. I want to continue to be healthy. And I wish I had this mindset at 18. I wish I had this mindset at 15. I wish I had that healthy mindset, because as a 38-year-old man in recovery of 20 years and dealing with addiction for about 25 years now, it's hard to unwind, right? It's hard to go back and say, I want something, but it's way down there now, right? I want to travel back to when I was 17 and I didn't feel all these certain things, or I wasn't introduced to jail, or I wasn't introduced to rejection and pain, or I wasn't introduced to the streets and being homeless, or I wasn't introduced to seeing my friend dead on the floor because he died of an overdose. I wish I never saw that. I want to get back over there. So now what I have to do is travel back there, not physically, but through therapy. This is real. Through preventing. I'm talking about years of destruction. I'm talking about not making healthy choices in my life. I'm talking about the devastation that it had on me and that it still does to my family and friends if I chose to make a bad decision today. And I'm not standing up here telling you that I've accomplished everything that I want to accomplish, but I'm telling you that the things that I have accomplished with a healthy mindset in my recovery far outweigh all the bad that I went through. So the things that you guys can accomplish, young men and women, with a healthy mindset, with a clean slate, and even if you make a mistake, there's still so much more to life. I'm living proof. The moment that I stand here and put my feet on the floor in the morning, I am living proof that there is more. That I'm here for a reason. And that each one of you are here for a reason and a purpose. You have a valuable gift. You know what that is? Yourself. Give yourself to the authentic, real you, not the person that they said you should be, not the person that they said you couldn't be. I'm talking about the real, authentic you, for you. You know, I could come in here and I could dress how I want to dress. I could wear what I want to wear. I could be who I want to be today because it's okay. Because I got to the point where being my true, authentic self was much more valuable. I found was much more valuable to the world than trying to be somebody that they told me I should be. I want to be me. You just want to be yourself, raise your hand. You just want to be you. If you want to be somebody else, that's cool. But if you really just want to be you, if you want to wake up comfortable without the fear of rejection, without the pain, and all of that stuff, be okay to walk into a building and smile to your teachers. Be okay to walk into a building and shake somebody's hand, just to run up on somebody and give them a high five without that. You see, she almost didn't want to put her hand up. That's what I'm talking about. I want to be me, the free me, the authentic me. The authentic me is free. Yes. So I encourage you guys today, as you think about what I'm saying, and as I'm speaking to you, I hope these words resonate. Freedom, authenticity, purpose. You all have so much to give to the world, but I truly believe it comes. You're going to find yourself through the process, don't get me wrong. But it truly believes when you're able to just run up on somebody and just be like, hey, how you doing? The smile came back. You see, sometimes we need somebody to kind of push us, to kind of motivate us, to kind of encourage us, maybe to come back at us one more time, right? That's what we need, people in our lives that are going to stick through us through the hard times. People in our lives that are going to tell us that we can be anything we want to be. And thank God for all the teachers in the building here. Man, what a privilege. It's hard to teach. I work at a school. I'm a para, so I work one-to-one with a behavior student. And I'm in the classroom every day. And I also run an athletics program now for middle school sports. So that's another gift that I have, to connect with my students through sports. But I tell you what, it's not hard for us. It's hard. It's hard for the teachers. So just thank your teacher today. Say thank you. Because you don't know what they had to sacrifice to be here. You don't know what they're going through on the outside. Just like they had that same mindset for you. And they love you every day because they don't know all the battles that you might be facing. And that's why love is the most important thing, because we don't know all the battles that someone's facing. And who are we to put how we feel about ourselves on somebody else? Right? You know what that could do to a person? Somebody who's already going through pain, somebody who's already going through struggles and journeys and valleys and ups and downs you may not know about. If we come in here and project our pain onto them, that might drive them out the building. I've seen people I've seen good kids fall. I've seen good kids become, on the streets. I had a student of mine, young kid, didn't have a great home life, but I was showing the love that he needed. The love maybe he couldn't get at home. When he saw me, he knew he was going to get the hug. He knew he was going to get the love. And I pulled him in, But still, sometimes that's not enough. Still, that's why we need extra love. Forget love. I'm talking about extra love today. Because when I was living in New York 2 years ago, and I found out that he had passed away, he wasn't getting the love, or sometimes we push that love away. And I found out that he was murdered. I used to see him on the streets all the time. Mr. Marco, how you doing? Rondé, what up? And then he got murdered, living the street life, believing the lies that people told him, that this is who he had to be, that that's all there was for him, that these were his friends. When I went to that funeral, I didn't see none of them kids at his funeral, but I was there. And when I spoke to his father, and I said, I'm sorry, Mr. Barber, I wish we could have done more for your son. And he looked at me in my eyes and he said, Marco, he said, we did all that we could do. And that felt good to hear. That gave me peace. Because I always wish I could do more. I really do. But sometimes, what we're doing in life is enough. I am enough. What I have to tell myself in the morning. I am enough. I have more to give, but for right now, I am enough. Same thing with you guys. You are enough. We don't need the extra you. We don't need the person that they say you should be. We don't need that. We're just looking for you. Because inside of that is the person who can truly become the person that you are meant to be. And greatness is born from normal. Greatness is born, I believe that greatness is born from average. It's average folks like me, average folks like Tammy, mixed with some pain and some passion. That's where greatness is birthed. I'm just thankful that I have the will to live today. I'm thankful, you guys, that I get to stand in front of you today, because you know what that does? Holds me accountable. How dare I give a message that I don't walk in? How dare I give a message that I don't truly believe in? I'm not perfect. I fail. But every day I wake up, I am enough. Every day I wake up, I'm not going to stay in the middle. I'm not going to let that fear push me back or keep me back. And I believe that there's something greater for me. I'm in my senior year right now. So if I said I'm in my senior year, what does that mean? Anybody from what I just said? If I'm in my senior year, what does that mean? Yes?
You're excited.
I'm excited! Oh my gosh, thank you, Lord, I'm excited. I'm in my senior year right now. I am excited for life. And it took a lot to push through the fear and the pain and the complacency for me to finally get to the point where I'm excited for my life. So I decided to write a letter. It goes like this. Dear addiction, you couldn't kill me. Oh, when I'm still smiling and I'm still excited. I'll give you an A for effort, but what I really want to say to you starts with an F. You tried hard. You almost put me in that grave like 13 times, my gosh. But my mom taught me about God. So even in my lows while I was high, I could still see your light from out the corner of my eye. You lured me in the jungle with killers and thieves. You took away holidays, birthdays, and you stole memories. You isolated me. You left me alone, depressed. Nothing left out on these streets, hopeless. You took me out of family pictures and dinner table conversations. You took my joy and replaced that with suicidal computations. You took my everything we all take for granted daily. Peace of mind, love, the ability to hope whenever it's hard, my car, my license, the ability to go wherever I want. Instead, you kept me sick and waiting for prescriptions. It's truly sad. I see people waiting for drug dealers to hand over their whole life in a small wax paper bag as they hand over their soul along with every single dollar they have. But you see, your hold on my life was always temporary because God made his home in my heart at a young age. So even while I allowed your house party to take place, deep inside I was always waiting for my dad to come home, take over and serve you papers for your eviction. But now, with everything that you took from me, I have double. You took friends, now I have a whole city behind me. You took 10 years, now I accomplished more in a day than I did in a week, more in a month than I did in a year, more in a year than I did in those 10. You took my integrity, now I'm respected in my weakness. You took my creativity, now I express myself freely. You took my voice, but now my story's being heard. You took my vision, now I see my future in HD. You took my career, but now I found my purpose. You took my youth, but now it's renewed. You stole my dreams, but now I can soar on eagle's wings. You stole my energy, but now when I walk, I don't get weary, and when I run, I don't faint. The moral of the story is that it switches, but it's gonna take courage, strength, and faith to stand up and look death square in the face and be different. I've seen many try and fail because of a fall. They didn't know about the I and the L and the difference it makes. One takes you back farther, while the other makes you come back stronger. So which letter do you want to be? It's up to you to decide if you fall or fail. Because in a fail, it's an I, meaning it's all about you. But do you know about a fall into his love and to let his arms take you through? You got to get to know this king who got the key to your jail. Because to be free means you have to surrender to your pride and be able to hear the voice of truth amongst the lies. And for the few feel like there's no hope, we are here to stand in the gap. Our eyes are not blind. We see you suffering on the other side. And I am proof that this pain won't last forever. And we are building a bridge over addiction to come and get you. End addiction, yes. But to end something, you have to begin something new. Otherwise, the void will be too much for you. So my friends, look deep within and ask yourselves, what will you allow to end to finally allow your real, true story to begin? Thank you. I truly believe that the issue that we're having with people using and getting high is self-love. So why would I make decisions to hurt myself? Why would I continuously make a decision to use drugs and alcohol in excessive form, knowing that it was ruining my life and my family? Did I not love my family? I ask those questions. Do I not love her? I ask those questions. Do I not love my nieces? I ask those questions. And the answer to those questions is I do. So then so I had to ask one more question. Do I love me? And I sat on that for a minute, and I weighed what I was doing to what I was doing to others, and I kept thinking those were the two, what I'm doing and what's causing others, what I'm doing and what it's causing others, what I'm doing and what it's doing to me. Why? Do I not love me? How could that be? How could you not love the person that's you? How could that be? I believe that there are lies that we were told growing up, that we're not good enough, that this is all there is, that we're not pretty enough, we're not handsome enough, we're not smart enough, we don't have the talent that they have. Oh, if I just had what she had, oh, if I just had what he had, then I would be what would you be? You would be them. Right? Self-love. Healthy choices. Right? That's what it's all about today. And I believe that's the ticket to end addiction. That's the ticket right there. The more and more that I love myself, the more and more that I realize that I'm valued by the Creator, the more and more that I realize that He has a plan and purpose for me, the more and more that I realize that I am worth more than my bad choices, the more and more that I realize that I have friends all around me, though I refuse to see them in my hurt state. I have people all around me, from all over Connecticut and everywhere. I've established a network of people. Self-love. Sometimes we need somebody to love us until we love ourselves. And that's why you guys come in. And that's what I was talking about earlier. that love is important. High-fiving somebody, encouraging somebody, telling your teachers that you're happy to see them, telling them thank you for their hard work, thanking each other, peer support, right here. This is a school is a community. You guys get to come every day to a whole, you might not be close to everybody or best friends with everybody, but you're around everybody. So therefore, you have a huge community of friends. You don't have to play ball on a court every day together. You don't have to sleep over each other's house all the time. But you have to understand that when you walk into a building like this, it's powerful. Because you have an entire community to support you. Entire family right here, this school for 4 years of support. Take advantage of that. Cherish that, man. Cherish that. Trust me. Because when it's over and you're out there by yourself and you have to make important adult decisions, you're going to have your family there, like your core family. But man, wouldn't it be nice to make connections, real connections here that can last forever? And that's why I value coming into schools, because I look at it as a community. And that's why I'm grateful to speak to you guys, because I'm not speaking at you, I want to speak with you. And I would like to do like a Q&A as well after. You guys can ask me questions, get to know me. But I believe that self-love is important. I'm telling you, the horrors that I've seen, that I should have never seen, the things that I never wanted to see again. Make the right choices. I believe in you. And smile. Remember to smile. Right? Life is hard. Like, it's hard enough. Sometimes just waking up and getting ready. But remember to smile, enjoy life. You know? Sometimes I think that we could feel like there's so much pressure, or like we could be in our own heads and not enjoy the moment. So I just encourage you to smile and enjoy the moment today. You know, my journey was tragic. I don't have time to tell you everything. But in 2020, I was paralyzed and on a hospital bed because I made a decision to use, again, because I was going through pain, because I was feeling rejection, because I didn't deal with the things that I needed to deal with inside myself, because I didn't love myself. So waking up paralyzed on a hospital bed, I mean, imagine stuck in your seat, you can't get up and walk. What would that do? I was stuck. And that's when I really got to get real with myself, man. And I was almost a double amputee. So when I walk around this gym and I move around, I'm grateful for every step. You know, and you don't have to be in a tragic situation like mine, but just to wake up and have an attitude of gratitude, right? Be thankful. Sometimes we just gotta stop and pause. Be thankful for what we have. Because we all have a lot. We probably have a lot more than we even need. I learned how to live off basic stuff. When I was homeless, I learned how to live out of a bag. I learned how to eat at a restaurant, you know what I'm saying, the trash cans. I learned how to do things that I never thought I would have to do to survive. Because when you really gotta survive, that's when you find out who you're really made of, what you're really made of, when you really gotta survive. And we're all blessed here. So remember to smile, man. And that smile is contagious. I wrote a poem. It's called The Story Behind the Smile. I don't know if you want to hear it though. Yeah? You sure? Because I just want to encourage you guys, man. You know, I had something happen recently that took my smile away, man. For real, listen to me one time. Something happened to me recently that just robbed me of my smile. And it just injected so much pain. So I know what it's like to lose your smile. I know what it's like to walk around depressed. I know what it's like to not want to live anymore. I know what all that's like. I've been through it. And I'm here for you if you ever need to talk to anybody. I'm not just coming here to I don't want to be in front of people. I didn't ask for this. I believe that God saved me from 20 overdoses for a reason. That's 20 times that I needed somebody to revive me off the street when I stopped breathing. That's 20 times that I was not in control of my life or my death. That's 20 times it went black. and I woke up because somebody saved my life. Think about that. I've overdosed more years than most of you have been alive. Let that sink in. And I'm here, and I'm standing. And that's a gift. That's a powerful gift. Life is a powerful gift. And I'll be, man, listen, if I don't smile, especially me, right? After all I've been through, right? If I don't smile and I don't have joy every day for everything that I've been through and survived, see, I can let it kill me or I can let it make me stronger, right? You know the saying, what don't kill you makes you stronger. So if you're still here and you woke up this morning with breath in your body and you made it to school, man, let's smile. There's a reason to smile. It goes like this. I took a vacation from the pain as I smiled today. I know the sun behind the rain on a cloudy day. I've been through so many things that tried to take my smile away, but I got enough joy, so when times I'm weak, I can still smile for 7 days. Like a child, I believe we all just want to be free. Spent so much time and money trying to buy things to make us happy. This whole time, smiling was free. Life can be tough. Sometimes a smile is an intentional choice, a decision, a realignment to your vision. You can say a lot with a smile without even using your voice. Like a picture is worth 1,000 words, a smile is worth 1,000 expressions. It's powerful. It speaks in ways that we can never say. So now imagine a picture with a smile in it. It's unique. Everybody's smile is different. A smile starts off as a personal connection being made by two people that can multiply to everyone around you and intensify to more people it reaches out to until it creates something special, laughter. Oh yeah, a smile can create a sound too. Yo, a smile saves lives. A smile is just what I needed today. A smile is never late, it's always on time. A smile is the most international language that everybody around the globe knows. It connects people of all religions, ages, and races. It can unlock the mind as it frees the heart. A smile is an unlearned behavior. See, you was born with it. A smile can never be misunderstood. A smile destroys anxiety, depression, and mental health for good. And don't take any smile for granted. Grab a mirror, smile at yourself. A smile is even beneficial to your health. You can have a nice job, material possessions, hashtag blessed, yes, but those who have less as a smile can also suggest success. A smile yells to the world, this is who I am, and it also speaks softly of who I won't be. A smile equals positivity when everything around us be too negative. A smile is just what the doctor ordered. Shoot, I guess a smile is like free healthcare. A smile might be the one thing that we can all finally just agree upon. A smile is what comes out every time I reflect on my life and I give thanks to God. See miracles in life every day. I smile because I was created for this. Nothing and nobody will ever take our smile away. Everybody has a story to tell, just like everybody's got a number to dial. So connect with each other and find out their story behind their smile. Thank you. How you doing, man? Play baseball? I love the hat. They all wrestling? Where they make that? As a Boston fitted? You're a Red Sox fan? I like him. He's cool. How you doing, love? What's your name? What's your name?
Miss Navarro.
Miss Navarro. Nice to meet you, Miss Navarro. Hey, looking like a student, like me. Matter of fact, when I met her, I was walking down the street from school. I was walking from my job, and I saw her, and she thought I was, is he a student? But he's kind of older, I don't know.
It's true.
He still got it. How you doing, young lady? What's your name? Yeah. What grade are you in? 10? All right. Get complacent. How you doing, young man? How you doing?
Good.
Good. Nice to meet you, Marco.
Jacob.
There's the smile. There we go. Here's the smile right here. It's that freedom, you guys. Let's get out of our heads today. Stop the lie. You know what that means? Stop the lies that we, forget what anybody's, you know who's, sometimes my own worst enemy is me. You ever heard that? My own, it's me versus me out here, right? That's how I feel. I'm my own worst enemy. Man, y'all, I'm grateful that I got to come and share the truth about addiction, but also the hope about recovery. And it's one day at a time. Whether it's 15 years of recovery, 6 months of recovery, 2 days of recovery. That's recovery. The moment that you make the choice to make a healthy decision. And that's why I encourage you guys today. Say what? Say, I am more.
I am more.
Say, I am more.
I am more.
Say, I am enough.
I am enough.
Say, I am enough.
I am enough.
Let's rise up as we get out of here. Stand up for me one more time. Lyman Memorial High School, man. You guys are the future. They're the next generation. That's right. I'm gonna let you go in a second.
That was probably one of them. Stand up. They got it.
One more time like you really mean it. I want to say I am more and I am enough. Lyman Memorial High School, I need you guys loud and proud. Let everybody out there know. Let everybody out there know that you guys are here and that you have so much. Here you go. We'll do it that way. Me and you together. Let's go like this. Yep. Selfie mode. Selfie mode. Don't get shy now. All right. You got it? Got those arms? Hold it up. You ready? Hold the phone sideways. Wow. I know how to work Instagram, y'all. I'm not that old. All right, you ready? Lyman Memorial. One more time for everybody out there. Lyman Memorial, say, I am more. I am more. I said, say, I am more. I am more. Say, I am enough. I am enough. Say, I am enough. I am enough. I love me. I love me. Oh, that got quiet. See what I'm saying? One more time. I'm going to say that 3 times because 3 times it's going to settle in. I love me. 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 You guys are a blessing. Go out and love yourselves. Spread the smiles, spread the love, spread the positivity, make healthy choices. I love you. Thank you.
Hey, everybody, we're going to do some Q&A, but yeah, can we just keep it down just a little? Thank you. I know this is exciting. We got you all pumped up. We're going to start some Q&A real quick. Can I get everyone's attention? This is really important. We're almost wrapping up here. But before we start Q&A, I want everyone just to quietly look to your right at the person next to you to the right. Now look to the left quietly. Okay? So listen, seniors. Seniors, you guys are graduating this year, right? So most times 5 years from now, after you graduate college or you go on to do the work that you're going to do, you probably have a reunion. If we don't change what we're doing now, someone you just looked at may not be here. Can you imagine going to a reunion and there's just a photo of somebody? Because unfortunately, they got into addiction. Unfortunately, there was a destructive decision. The reality is, statistically in this room, you will all not make it. Because of the path that we are on.
No, all of you.
Can you
won't.
imagine? You may not be friends with everybody in this room. Hey guys over there, listen, this is important. You may not be friends with every single person in this room, but can you imagine waking up tomorrow, the next day, and hearing that someone in this school who was part of your community is no longer here because of one choice? That's it. There's no coming back from that. I look at you and I say to myself, God, everyone in their life is so lucky.
because they get to wake up and see your faces every single day. I have memories now. I don't wake up every day and see my son. I don't get to plan his wedding. I have no grandkid from him. All of those milestones that I had for hopes and aspirations for my child, they're gone. He's gone. He's 24 and he'll never grow old. But we have a chance today for you to hear a message that can change the trajectory of your life. Someone's life in this room. You may already be struggling or dabbling, or whatever you want to call it. You may have trouble at home. You may be suffering from depression, anxiety. I encourage you today to change it now. Talk to a safe person, whether it's your teacher, whether it's your social worker, your guidance counselor, whether it's your best friend. Silence kills. Addiction is the most isolating disease that we have out there. So I'm asking you, if you all want to go to your reunion in 5 years and see the same faces that you just looked at right now, we need to change it now. There's so much more to life, and I'm telling you, I am so happy that every single one of you are sitting here today and being respectful and listening. Because there was a time when I found out, after he was okay, I thought, because addiction is a lifelong battle. You have to be aware every single day of fighting it, just like any other disease. That I found out he was in the hospital and my heart sunk. But he got back up. And he got back up, and he came here to speak to you in hopes to just reaching one of you. Just planting a seed to let you know that a path of addiction will bring you down such darkness, and the only thing you have is to lose. I hope that we made some kind of an impact, but I'm going to open it up for questions, and I encourage you, anybody that has any questions for Marco, anyone has any questions for me, I think it's going to be Marco because he's pretty powerful, but if anyone, please, if anyone has, we'll bring the microphone around. If anyone wants to raise their hand and has a question for Marco.
I don't have anything to ask, but I just want to say I'm sorry for your loss about your son.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Dale, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. It takes courage to speak in front of people. And also to thank people sometimes. Man, anybody? Any questions from today? She asked me, well, I have my legs. And I also have scars on my legs. Yeah. So I deal with that. I walk around. I had surgery, so I'm not an amputee, praise God, but I have pain every day and a constant reminder of, the choice that I made. And also a constant reflection of the fact that I still have more to live for and that I'm still here for a purpose. So, yeah. Oh, somebody, hey, pass that back. Thank you so much. Bless.
How long were you homeless for? Like, how long
Sure. So how long was I homeless for? How long did this addiction impact me? Wow. That's a deep question because it's not a period of homelessness as far as being on the streets, which I've done that. But like, when did I ever really settle in to a home? I was always moving around. You know, if I couldn't live at my family's house, I was in a drug rehabilitation program. I was in a detox. I was in a men's shelter. I was in a sober house community. So it was like always, because of the choices I made in this addiction, I was always moving around from place to place. So never really having a home, like once I left my mom and dad's house. Never really, I got my first apartment at 32 years old. My first apartment, y'all. You know what the expectations they put on you guys is? Get out, get a job, get an apartment. There's so much steps to that. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's attainable, but it's not easy. So I got my first apartment because of that. It's because of delay. It's the delay process. That's what I call it. Addiction is just the delay process. That's what it is. It can either kill you or it can just string you along and while you suffer, right? Just delaying my process of life and who I should become. So homeless on the streets was another thing. You know, when it's cold and raining out there and I'm stuck with nowhere to go, you know, and I got a tote bag from Hartford, Connecticut, in the worst streets and neighborhoods that you can imagine, having nowhere to go, nowhere to call, everybody's done with me. Yeah, that's scary. So I spent some weeks doing that too, you know. So home is where my heart is today, man. That's what I believe. Anybody? Yes, sir. You can talk into it. Like you really mean it. Like you. Do it. Did I have a lot of enablers in my life that I had to get rid of? Wow. Yeah, so I used to hang around people at first because they were giving me certain things, because I could get certain things from them. But as my addiction grew and progressed, and it grew, I wanted things for myself. So I could say that those people that ended up giving me things, I kind of went on my own because I didn't want to, first of all, share with them because I wanted everything for myself. But also the people that were enabling me, that I had to get rid of those folks too. I had to change the people, places, and things they said. So I had to change people that I knew would give me something if I came around. I had to get away from them. And also, I don't believe that my family were enablers. My mom and dad love me. They still do. They still support me, even through my ups and downs. They can say, like, your family could be an enabler. I think my family just provided love that was there until I was ready to just love myself enough to make a decision for myself. So, yeah, I had to push away people that were enabling me. And also, in the recovery side of things now, and helping others in recovery, I could realize that I get these messages, right? Hey, man, I'm stuck in I used to send these out too. I'm stuck, right? I'm stranded, right? I just need an Uber ride. And it's somebody I know who I was in a program with, or that I know has struggled, and I need money. So there you go. I have to think and use wisdom. Am I going to enable them to send them money? I'll send you a lift. I'll buy the car for you. Oh, I'm good. I'm all set. So I have to be careful that I'm not enabling that person, because here's a quick story. I got out of work one day, and I had a friend of mine who I was a roommate in a rehabilitation program, right? And he was on my front steps when I got home real quick. And I wasn't trying or thinking about using. I was like almost a year clean. And here he is showing up on my front steps, and he's telling me he's going to go into a program tomorrow. And he's like, yeah, man. And I know what it's like. You just want one more before you go, or you're sick and you can't take it through the night before you go and get help. And so I said, okay. And I enabled him, and I gave him $40. And he lived right next door to me, and I was cooking, and I gave him my cell phone. I said, here, go make the call that you need to do. Now, you have to realize I wasn't making, the best choice at that moment, right? I had to learn and grow through some things. That wasn't the proper thing to do for him, was to give him money and give him my phone and tell him to go call who he needed to get better. That was sick, and I was still learning how to recover. I was still sick, you know what I mean? Well, I'm not been using or getting high, but I was still up here. Up here, I was still sick. So I gave him the phone, and 20 minutes go by, and I don't hear from him. And I start going over next door to see where Matt is, and I'm running up the steps, and I'm like, man, and I hear some yelling coming from up the top. I guess he lived with 2 other people, and they were calling his name, and I walked through the door, it was open, and people are scrambling, they're hiding things, and I'm looking at Matt, and Matt's on the floor, and he's purple. And here I am with the money that I just gave Matt with my cell phone on the bed with this kid on the floor dying. OD. Wow. Enabling people. Never again. Never again. Matt made it. He died a year later, but I saved his life that day. I called 911 since nobody was able to. Nobody was able to call 911 because they were so worried about getting caught or getting in trouble or what they had. So I had my phone there. They didn't even have minutes on their phone. They had like a state phone with no minutes on it. Couldn't even call for help. So if I hadn't showed up, Matt would have died. He was already there. And so no, I would never enable nobody again, ever again. When it comes to their recovery, I think smarter now. You know, because I've been given the tools and the wisdom to know the difference. Yes?
While recovering from your addiction, what helps you the most?
Powerful question. What a great question. What helped me the most? I tell you what, poetry helped me the most. Writing, that helped me the most. You know, we talked about fear, right? I could never stand in front of people to talk, but I guess when you want something bad enough and you just been through so much stuff and you feel like you have something to give, I guess it doesn't really matter what people think about you. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Is it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about you. That's just going to hold you back. It's about self-love, and it's about realizing that, you know, I want more. And if I want to get over here, sometimes I have to just block everything out. And what helped me was a community of people, like Community Speaks Out. I met Tammy. I think I was speaking at Three Rivers on the panel in 2016. And that's when I met Tammy, and she came around me. And I met people in the community. I met officers. And as I started to make good choices, I started to meet people at higher levels, like judges and officers of the law and principals and people that could influence me and help me, and people that could see me and meet me where I was at and stay around me so that I could have the support that I needed. So I'm grateful for the love that people gave me and how people just showed me the way to go. And yeah, that's a blessing.
All right, so we're gonna close this out, and I wanna thank you guys honestly from the bottom of our heart for being so respectful. We will be sticking around for a couple minutes, so if anyone has concerns or they just have a couple questions they don't wanna say out loud, we're gonna be here. But I wanna thank you guys. This has been a great presentation, and you guys, from the bottom of my heart, it was not easy for me to come and talk about my son's death, but you guys were all very respectful. And to the Crush guys, the first thing I walked in and saw those Crush shirts, I knew my son was sending me a message, so thank you. Thank you, everybody.